Vitamin E acetate causes severe lung damage when it's inhaled.
An advocacy group is calling on the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services to change its testing rules over what they're calling a very toxic chemical most commonly found in cannabis products.
Missouri's National Organization for Reform of Marijuana Laws, or NORML, says it's concerned about the amount of vitamin E acetate allowed in products after the state increased the amount allowed in February.
According to the CDC, vitamin E acetate is an addictive condensing agent most commonly found in products containing THC. ABC 17's Mitchell Kaminsky joins us live in Columbia. Mitchell, NORML claims the state is allowing up to 25 times more vitamin E acetate in its cannabis products.
Yeah, Megan Lucas, the state increased the amount of vitamin E acetate allowed in cannabis products from 0.2 parts per million up to 5 parts per million. However, the state health department says that some of the claims made by NORML simply aren't true and that the changes were made due to flaws in testing. In 2019, the CDC determined there was an outbreak of a condition known as e-cigarette or vaping product use-associated lung injury. A later CDC study found over 2,000 people were hospitalized and 54 people died from vaping-related injuries. State and national data later showed there was a strong link between these incidents and vitamin E acetate. NORML's chair of the National Board of Directors, Dan Viets, says the chemical compound is not a substance found in organic marijuana.
The purpose of putting it in there is to make the fluid, the vaporization oil, appear more viscous and more desirable.
Because of this, Viets was surprised to hear that Missouri had increased the level allowed in products by 25 times.
We've written to DHS several times about this, and the responses we've gotten are just nonsense.
Lisa Cox, a spokeswoman for the state's health department, says the limit was increased after licensees expressed concern over false failures in testing due to, quote, natural vitamin E levels in plant material encountered during their validation process, end quote. In an email to ABC 17, Cox wrote, the initial action of less than 0.2 parts per million may be so low that failures may appear in products not produced with vitamin E acetate at all. Cox added the Department of Cannabis Regulation did additional research and determined that 5 parts per million accounted for any natural occurring vitamin E, which has not been identified as a health and safety concern. However, Viets is convinced the change was meant to benefit the cannabis industry at the expense of consumers.
Generally, DHSS has done a good job, but here they're doing a bad job. They are not looking out for the interests of cannabis consumers, and the health and the well-being of consumers should take precedence over the interests of the industry.
I reached out to MU Health to try and get more information on vitamin E acetate and some of the potential health risks and to see if there's any hospitalizations recently because of it. However, the spokesman for the group said that none of the doctors that he spoke to were familiar with it. Reporting live in Columbia, Mitchell Kaminsky, ABC 17 News.
Mitch, thank you. The CDC says cases of e-cigarette or vaping products use associated with lung injury have been slowly declining since 2019. It says it's because of several factors, including increased awareness and the removal of vitamin E acetate from some products.